Today's show is all about CeeDee Lamb and the potential ugliness that might be around the corner for the two sides, the Cowboys and Lamb. If you simply want the Cowboys to pay CeeDee Lamb, and I use simply because I think it is actually kind of easy, then spam me in the comment section. I truly think we should have thousands of me's on today's video because I think this is a no-brainer for the Cowboys organization. Now, I do want to go in chronological order here from the reports that have come out the last 24-ish, give or take, hours, maybe 48 from the one. So we'll get to the trade requests that may or may not be happening on that in a little bit. First, Dallas Morning News reports that Lamb's probably going to hold out from the Cowboys camp without a new deal. Here's what Calvin Watkins wrote in a recent article. There's been little progress on extensions for Prescott and Lamb this summer. For a second consecutive year, there's a possibility a key starter will hold out of training camp. Lamb missed the entire offseason program and is expected to miss training camp if he doesn't get a new deal. Now, I was a little surprised with how that report kind of got picked up nationally by other outlets, etc., because we kind of knew all of that already. We kind of knew that Lamb wasn't going to be there without a deal, right? We knew all of that. That's not new breaking information, and that's not how it was conveyed in the article either. The Dallas Morning News did not treat that as a new report, insider info, wow, breaking. They kind of just put it in there. It was buried almost in there. McCarthy is fed up, but maybe not fed up. Sources from the Cowboys who wouldn't speak to them still, whatever piece. There really wasn't, it wasn't presented as like, wow, look at this. And in fact, it's been reported for a while, hey, once a new deal, he's not going to show up. Holdout's been underway. So I think your first big deadline is coming up here. You already missed the mini camp one. He didn't do day 3, so only got fined like half $100,000 there. When I ask this question, will CeeDee Lamb report for Cowboys training camp? At this point, I am operating under the assumption it's with a new deal or he's not there. So I'm kind of asking, did the Cowboys pay CeeDee Lamb before training camp? It is the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad comes on the YouTube side, that's just fine. Take advantage of it. Head down there. Y for yes, N for no. Look, this has already been a holdout from Lamb. We've known this. This is where it is at. It has been a holdout for CeeDee Lamb. At best, when it comes to Cowboys training camp, I think the best thing you get is a hold in. I think that is your best case scenario as it relates to Lamb. And what I don't want to have happen, and I think we are rapidly trending on that pace, is to let this get ugly. I do not want this, which should be a very simple, straightforward, for as much as a $30+ million contract can be, I don't want this to get ugly. I don't want this to be a disaster, have both sides mad at each other, low balls, disaster class, anger, upsetness. Don't let it turn into a clown show the way this offseason has been so far for the Cowboys. My concern is we're already trending on that path. This was the report earlier today from my boy Pretty Ricky, who does not miss. He has gotten a ton of mostly contract stuff broken way before the major insiders do. Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence. He had a bunch of great info. July 1st, Monday, he tweets this out. CeeDee Lamb will request to be traded if the Cowboys do not offer him a new contract worth at least $32 million per year. He wants to be at least the second highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Now, Bobby Belt, 40 minutes later, give or take, quote tweeted it and said, I know this tweet is making rounds among Cowboys fans, whether it's true or not. I won't speak to any potential trade request, but I do believe that $32 million figure is the exact salary floor that CeeDee's camp is holding to. So if the minimum deal for CeeDee Lamb is $32 million, there is zero reason this should ever have to reach the trade request range. This should not be hard. $32 million as the ask for CeeDee Lamb is not him playing hardball. It is not. In fact, it might be under the market rate. If he's willing to take $32 million a year, whatever, beat out A.J. Brown, take less than Justin Jefferson, that's a no-brainer contract. That is such actually a pro-Cowboys deal, they need to jump all over that ish. He could have pushed for 35 or more. He really could have. If that's not the case, What are we doing here? This is easy. I think my answer to this question is quite obvious here. Would you pay CeeDee Lamb $32 million per year? I expect to see a lot of A's in the comment section, but get your votes in. A for yes, B for no. The $32 million figure is not an accident. It's what A.J. Brown got. CeeDee Lamb is better than A.J. Brown right now, and he's younger, all right? There's 32 to 35 is where the receivers check in terms of the average per year, and a pretty darn big gap in the guaranteed money. And I had thought that, maybe the guaranteed money causes more issues. If that's not the case, and it's the APY that's the holdup, which you don't get to the guaranteed money until you sort out the APY, again, what are we doing here? Like, the Justin Jefferson deal appears to be the ceiling, not the floor for CeeDee Lamb. That should make this deal easier to do. If it's not done by training camp, I really don't know what this organization is doing. And that's me being nice. I'm about to get pretty mad at the Cowboys here after we tell you about the draft hat deal that's available from our friends over at Fanatics. Chatsports.com/Cowboys draft hat. They are doing a little 3D effect thing. Kind of see it more on the navy than on the gray. So go check it out. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It's chatsports.com/Cowboys draft hat. This is very simple. If the Cowboys don't get a deal done with CeeDee Lamb, with this information we know about what he's actually asking for, I'm going to be friggin' livid. This is not that hard of a deal to figure out. At worst, CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. And I think your priority is he 3 or 4 or whatever. So pay that man his money. He's not asking to reset the damn contract market. You could have done this a year ago. You've dragged your feet. You could have had this done so long ago. Instead, what have you done? Nothing. You sat around with your you-know-what's in your hands, and you didn't talk to Lamb's agent at the NFL Combine. You're like, yeah, whatever, we don't need to. You wanted to see more leaves fall. And the leaves that fell were the wide receiver market getting reset constantly. Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, all these guys getting big, Justin Jefferson, getting massive wide receiver deals that pulled up the figure. Maybe it was already there, but it guaranteed it. This is par for the course pretty consistently with the Dallas Cowboys. I am tired of but the agent. It's not the agent's job to give you more money. It's not how it works. Agent's job is to get the players' money. You know that going into it. There is a reputation for this organization that they suck at these deals. They do this constantly. Every time a player wants close to the market rate, the Cowboys drag it out, and they cost themselves all that precious pie in the long run. They did it with Tank Lawrence. They let Amari Cooper reach free agency. They did it with Dak Prescott twice now, and they're doing it again with CeeDee Lamb. You could have had this deal done a year ago, and you could have overpaid CeeDee Lamb, made him the highest paid wide receiver in football, $30 million a year, and it would barely be a top 5 contract right now. And it would have been, wow, what an overpay. And now you're like, wow, that would have been a steal. That's how it always goes with these things with the premier players. If they play well the way they have, the earlier you do it, the better it is in every single case, provided the player plays well. Do any of us worry about Lamb not playing well? I don't think so. Now, I will call out the Joneses. Some of the big J's will not do that. That is why I assume some of you are subscribed, because I am just a fan in the end. I am frustrated by the way this Cowboys organization does business. It pisses me off, but it is how I feel. I'm not going to sugarcoat things positively or negatively on purpose. It's just how I feel. If you want honest Cowboys coverage, whether you agree or not, that's totally fine. Hit that sub button for me right now. So I'm going to go a step further for you. Jerry, Steven, pay attention. This is how you do the CeeDee Lamb contract. In fact, it's actually pretty friggin' easy once you think about it. Step 1, we're going to take the Justin Jefferson contract. That's 4 years, $140 million, 110 guaranteed, $35 million a year on average. We're just going to bop it down a little bit, all right? Just boop, pull it down a little bit. We're going to make it 4 years, $132 million. That's $33 million per year above the asking price for CeeDee Lamb, we're going to guarantee him $101 million, so he gets to be third on that list. Kumbaya, everyone's happy. You can add a fifth-year void year if you want. You got the fifth-year option coming in. You'll probably count on that deal. And in the process, you save salary cap space right now. And if you don't use it, you roll it over. And you avoid Jamar Chase beating you or beating the Justin Jefferson deal potentially. That's probably going to happen next August for the Bengals. You don't let something weird happen with Brandon Ayuk. You don't let T. Higgins get to free agency next year. You don't let the Browns do something funny with Amari Cooper. This shit's not hard. The Cowboys, all of their issues contractually are self-inflicted. All of them. They drag their feet. They lowball players. If they're really not willing to offer CeeDee Lamb $32 million a year, that is so disrespectful to what CeeDee Lamb has been for you as an organization. He is one of the best receivers in football, and you're trying to lowball him after you waited and didn't try to operate with urgency here? If the Cowboys screw this up, this is some of the biggest organizational failure in a lot of runs of organizational failure when it comes to contract stuff. This is not challenging. This is not that hard. Get the deal done. The free square this offseason for the Dallas Cowboys was pay CeeDee Lamb. They haven't done that yet somehow. So I don't really know what they're waiting for. Get it done, or I'm going to be even more pissed than I am right now.